least for a quick Devar Torah. And this is one of the most interesting parshiot we could have because it reminds us the reason for the 40 years in the wilderness is Moshe is getting us ready to enter the land. The entire book of Devarim, or Deuteronomy, is going over how to build a just society. This is important because if the society is unjust, if the court system favors one group over another, the society will inherently collapse on itself. Something we see over and over again. There are many countries in the world which are poor precisely because of corruption, because people don't trust the court system where they live. And therefore they don't trust the government. And then people assume the only way to get ahead is to cheat. And if you cheat in business or taxes or whatever, it inherently foils society because then that's going to be the norm for everybody. Whereas if you know the court system is just, the court system does not take into account that you're famous or that you're wealthy or that you're poor. It says, this is what the law is. This is a judgment on the facts of the case, not on your social condition. Again, no matter what your economic condition is, then people will trust it. Interesting to note that in sports, a lot of players like the system where they can challenge the ruling by a referee or an umpire. They like it. And the umpires like it too, because it keeps them on their toes. And they know that it can be checked. If you've been watching baseball, every so often the catcher will question the ruling of the umpire, whether strike or ball. And then you can see, and sometimes the umpire makes a mistake. That's okay. Derek Jeter was once asked about this, about umpires making mistakes. He says, they make mistakes, but it's both sides. They don't favor one side over the other. They just sometimes don't see things. As a side note, because of the Americans with Disability Act, the entrance to the umpire quarters in most baseball stadiums has Braille. So you wonder, what does a blind umpire see? But that's to the side. The important thing is, as long as you know judgment will be fair, that the judgment will be on the facts of the case and not on some preconceived notion of the judge, whether the judge is taking bribes or he feels sorry for one of the parties, or he's not taking a bribe, but one of the parties is very wealthy and can do him some favors later on. As long as you know that none of that matters. What matters is that you will receive a just judgment. Might not be in your favor, but at least you know that it's fair. The judge is not playing games. And remember that this is being told to the Jewish people as we're preparing to enter the land and to set up a Jewish society according to the Torah. That's why it comes here. Moshe is telling us, this is how you have a nation. This is how you behave as a nation. Ignore everything that came before us, which explains a lot about the reasons against idol worship. But he's telling, ignore everything before this. This is what the Torah wants you to do. And so that's the important reason why this week's Parsha stresses at the very beginning that we should look for, judges should be above their personal opinions. They cannot have a bias. Something to think about.